What is going on, my friends? Today we're doing something a little different. We're going to be taking this 2014 Nissan Frontier, getting rid of the fender flares, and trying something that might work or might not work. And you can be the judge and let me know what you think. One of our longtime customers came in. He said, I hate these fender flares. They look horrible on there. He doesn't want to invest a lot of money in the truck. It's an older truck. We've already had to repaint scratches and dings and chips and stuff a million times on it, and it's already all scratched up again. But he absolutely despises the fender flares and said, hey, how do we get rid of these things? What can we do? And some of us went through and drilled holes and screwed it right through the actual sheet metal and plastic of the vehicle. In order to fix that, it does get quite expensive because we'd have to weld up every single hole on this vehicle. And because it's thin sheet metal, it's a little extra work. Then we would have to go through and body work everything, paint everything, and go crazy. So we came up with an idea. And it works out good because we haven't done a video using Cowles products in a while, and I would really like to do one. This is kind of like a cheat. We're gonna see if the Cowles products will hide his holes in his fenders and quarter panels, and then see if we paint them and color match them, if they look good enough to pass so that he doesn't have his fender flares and they hide the holes. You guys are gonna be the judge of it. So before we get going and try this out, I wanted to introduce myself because this is our truck channel, Atomic Truck Works. For all you guys don't know me, I am Eddie Barrett. We have Atomic Auto Works, Atomic Truck Works, and Atomic Cycle Works. We are a behind the scenes look into building cars, doing what we do in all different ways with a major effort and push towards getting more people involved in our industry. We want people working, doing this stuff, having fun. On our truck channel, it's all truck content, and we figured, hey, what better way to start than with the 2014 Nissan Frontier? We wanted to wine and dine you and wow you with all these custom trucks and all this other stuff, which we will be getting into doing a lot of higher end trucks. But for a lot of people, I feel it's more necessary to do what you do every day. You know, there's a lot of people who want a decent truck, who want to be able to drive it, have it look good, have it run good, and not really get into spending a fortune on that vehicle. So we're going to do a lot of our videos showing how to make things look better in affordable, practical ways. Sometimes they'll be good and sometimes they won't. This is going to be one where I have no idea what it's going to look like, but hopefully we can get through this together. So these holes aren't even the right size. They're like oversized. These are self-tapping screws they put in here right through the metal. As you pull them out, you can see there's rust inside there, which means they were actually starting to rust, and they actually are pretty beat up. So before I go through, I want to clean this area really good. Now, one thing that's crazy is there's not a spot of rust on any of the flares underneath here. The only thing that really sucks is the screws weren't put in an even fashion because they have these little holes here. And I don't want to try to fill these and not fill these. So first we're going to try to put that on and cover all the holes and see what it looks like. So not thinking I went and grabbed the wrong Cowles products. I actually grabbed the 2-inch wide body side molding, which I know doesn't bend around an arch like that. So what I ended up doing is I grabbed the 1/2-inch wide 18-foot. This is actually the carbon fiber one. I wanted to just a plain black because we're going to paint it. We had this here courtesy of Cowles. And I also did go to a 2-part store to see if they had it in black. Couldn't find it because I thought the black would just be easier. We're using this. And what's great about this is it actually conforms around the body a lot better than anything, like, well, a lot better than the 2-inch would. The 2-inch wouldn't bend at all. All right, I already went through and wiped this down with some pre-cleaners, but I just want to hit it one more time with something a little bit more good. And I went through and I put some primer inside all the holes just to try to keep it from rusting out anymore. I'm actually going to cut this kind of to length, just so we don't have too much that we're working with. I'm actually going to start from this side because I want this to kind of go up to the mud flap. And what sucks is these holes are not nice and round. Really get paint. So we're going over body lines. Right down over that one. I'm going to end it at an angle. Right in the fender. Now, even though we had to go follow their holes, I tried to keep somewhat of a nice radius with it. Obviously, if I was leaving this in carbon fiber, I would not like it even at all. So we're gonna go through and paint it next and see how that looks. One thing's really cool is we were provided with two 18-foot rolls of this 1/2-inch side carbon fiber molding. One box did it all, one 18-foot, and with a little left over to spare. So now, let's tape it and go.
Circles at 10,000 miles of pavement, trying to make it all make sense. I've been underslept, overworked, overstretched, I'm exhausted, but I got you. I've had friends that have thrown me aside like a burned out cigarette, and times that I've taken it all, but then lost it. I've been misunderstood, tasted the bad with the good, but I still got a you. Oh, ooh, no matter how hard it gets, we got the evidence. Ooh, and through all the craziness, only thing making sense beneath the surface, our chaos turns to peace. 'Cause true love runs deep. I got gravity pulling me under and into your magic, because love is a mystery. Oh, but we found it and I kinda like the way I can explain it. I got you, I still got it, you.
All right, guys, so I'm gonna try to answer a few questions before you ask them, because I know there's gonna be some. Things like, why didn't we paint this trim before we put it on? Well, first off, I didn't know if I was gonna even remotely like it. Like, before I did this video, I was like, am I gonna put this on? It's gonna look stupid. I'm gonna have to follow through this video and make it pretend it looks good or not. Obviously, we know we're not going for a show vehicle or something crazy. We're just trying to get rid of those ugly fender flares and hide the holes on there, protect them, and keep the vehicle from getting any more rust, while still trying to maintain somewhat of a decent look so it looks more factory looking. So I didn't want to pre-paint, waste all that material or all of the trim and then say I didn't like it. Also, there is a possibility if I have to overbend it that you could actually crack the paint when you're putting it on there, or not even just cracking it, but by stretching the plastic, sometimes it'll actually delaminate the paint from it. And I didn't want to go through that. So I figured spend a little more time and just throw the plastic on it, which it would take me 15 minutes to do this. Wasn't really a big deal. Second, why did we use 3/4 inch tape and not 2 inch or 1.5 inch tape around there and have to do it twice versus have to do it once? This bends a lot easier than the 2 inch tape going around there. I would have had to really stagger it a lot, so I figured we get a nice radius with it. Yes, if you watched the B-roll, you saw me fumbling a few times trying to retape stuff because I am using a very inexpensive tape. I do love the 3M tape, but it is very expensive right now. So on jobs where price is an issue, to take a $12 to $24 roll of tape and waste it seems kind of crazy, so I'd rather just fumble through and retape a few things. Doesn't really stick that great to the plastic, but once you get used to it, it works all right. Thirdly, razor blade. Yes, I trimmed the plastic with a razor blade, and some people ask, why didn't I do this? Or some idiots are going to go through and use a razor blade, cut through the tape, cut through the paint, and then blame someone else on why this happens. When you're cutting the plastic's very thin. You want to make sure it's completely flat, and when you do it, you don't want to tug or jerk on it. You want to kind of give a nice even roll. You also want to make sure that you're not putting a lot of pressure on it. I've been using razor blades and cutting Frisk and different spray masks and all this stuff for over 30 years. So after a while, you get used to how much pressure you can put on certain things without actually cutting through the tape and into the actual paint itself. And if you're doing this at home for your first time, Very carefully, you could take scissors and do this, or you could just mask it off with paper. I chose plastic because it covers the entire vehicle. I don't have to worry about any overspray getting anywhere. And when you're on a budget, and yes, it's sweating, I'm hot, I'm very sweaty. When you're on a budget, the last thing you want to do is actually go backwards and then have to sit here and buff out a truck for a very inexpensive fix. Now, I'm going to go through and scuff all this plastic. When you are working with new plastics, you can go by the manufacturer's recommendation on it. A lot of them say you don't have to actually sand the plastic. You just use our plastic primer, which is an adhesive promoter on there, and that will be sufficient, but always check and see what the manufacturer recommends for the product that you're using. As I'm doing this, I'm also making sure that all my tape is stuck down and there's no blemishes. I'm just gonna go on and apply a little plastic primer. It's kind of like an adhesion promoter, it's clear. Some people think it's actually like just thinner or something. All right, so now I'm just gonna go through and apply some sealer. We're actually using the Axo Nobel's Velorum sealer. I do actually like this stuff because it goes on very thin and it's very, very opaque. Okay, so now we're gonna start putting our blue base coat on. Well, actually, I already did. I put one light coat on. We're gonna go through and do all the fender flares. Now we're just gonna go through and put 2 coats of clear on here. Very thin, fast drying clear. Now I know what you guys are saying. I'm using my base coat gun. I didn't feel like burning another gun just for these little tiny pieces of trim. We're gonna need this to tack up for a little bit before we start pulling the paper off. There's nothing worse than rushing it, pulling plastic and tape off and having it stick to fresh paint, and then you're starting over from scratch. Now, this is supposed to be more of a DIY, something you could do at home. Obviously, people are like, you got a spray gun, you use spray guns and compressors and all that stuff. Well, technically you don't need any of that. I'm gonna check before we post this video and see, and if we do, we'll put a link in the description for places where you could buy like the Preble spray cans. And what's cool about those is they're a little glass jar with an aerosol top that sprays kind of like a spray gun would. And you could usually get it at a local body shop supplier or a jobber or something like that. But if you don't have it in your area and we do find a link, we'll put it in the description. You can check that out and you can buy those. Then you just go to a body shop supplier, have them mix up a tiny bit of paint for you. You can put that into the glass jar and then you could actually spray it and you'll get an automotive paint finish, color match, which is really nice. Hopefully, we're gonna give this a little bit of time. We'll come back, take all the plastic off of it and see if it looks good. Here we are. It's been a minute. It's been a few minutes. So let's see if it's dry. The best way to see if your paint is dry is just to touch it. No, you never want to touch it. You always touch the plastic or the paint tape next to it and make sure. And this is actually very dry. So we're going to very carefully peel this off. Start with the bottom.
Truck, a cute girl in shorts shaking her butt, drinking moonshine till the sun comes up. Well, I think
as we untape this, we're actually looking to make sure that there's no overspray where the paint could have slipped and went underneath the paper or masking tape.
Running through my veins, no, it ain't easy. I'm gonna put on my lipstick, lace up my...
So this is the inexpensive tape, and you can see here when I'm peeling it off, it's actually leaving a little bit of adhesive behind, which is not good.
I'm tired of smiling and playing along. I ain't just another country girl.
Now we can pull it outside, see what it looks like in the sunlight. I could already tell the color match is a little off. What happens is when you're mixing paints, there's recommended amounts of tint you're supposed to put in there. And on this one, you're supposed to not go under 3.39 ounces. We went just under it, and a little bit of black, it might have been too much. It's just a little dark, or there might have been a little, not enough pearl. Something is just a little off. For what it is, the reason that you would do that and you're mixing less is the price of paint and material right now is so expensive. If we're to actually mix up the recommended amount of paint, we'd have paint left over, and then it would exceed the price that he wants to do. So it's a really tough balance. For him, I know for a fact that the color match is good enough. For me, I'm very particular. And from the camera angle, when I look, it kind of just looks like there's nothing there. So that's kind of what we're hoping for. We're hoping for nobody kind of notices it and it's not obtrusive. We'll see if he likes it.
About a pair of legs, riding shotgun. Might just need for you to have fun. Someone that show off to your boy.
I will tell you, the AC blows cold in that old girl. As soon as you get in, it started blowing and cooled you right down. What's funny about stuff like this is we have half the world likes things one way and half likes the other. And when you're in the real world and in business and you're trying to make people happy, you have to do what they want at their budget. And so this is kind of a good prime example where someone who's like really crazy and wants nice stuff and wants a show vehicle and all that would think this is absurd to do. And other people are like, hey, I want to get rid of those ugly fender flares. I want it to not look obtrusive and just throw something on that will not be inexpensive. And that was his choice and his option, and that's what we did. The whole point of our channel is to show you all different ways, good and bad, and everything in between. So we hope you like the videos. Please remember to like, share, follow, subscribe, and ring the bell, and tell a friend. Appreciate you for watching the video. See you next time.